Okie doke. Hello, welcome back to NW Sportscast. Today we are here with me, Drew Alba, and
Levi.
And we are going to be going over our Mariners end of season review.
Yeah.
Of the year, what do you think went well, what do you think did not go well.
Yeah.
And we're going to try to touch on the WNBA and our Seattle Storm. We all know they won, but we're going to touch on that a little bit. Not big WNBA guys, but we're in Seattle, so we're going to talk with them a little bit. And then maybe kick it out and end it with some NBA talk and maybe some Seahawks. Okay.
Yeah. Lots of stuff on the plate today.
So we got to get started.
We're starting off with the Mariners. Actually, it was a better season than we could have imagined.
Yeah, I think it went better than. I mean, I had them going 29 and 31 as a very.
And I had them at 22 wins, so Drew was closer. I think Seth had him at 26 though, didn't he?
No, Seth was like really low. He was like at 19, remember?
Oh, that might be true. So I think Drew wins the.
I think I do win the prediction. I was being kind of okay. Honestly, I think I was gonna guess like 26 or 27, but then I was just like, screw it. If the Mariners are gonna make the playoffs, I gotta believe in them.
Yeah.
So I picked them to be 29 wins. I ended up going what 27.
The Mariners won 27.
It's crazy.
Lost 33.
Crazy.
They actually got all 60 games in, no cancellations from COVID.
Mm-hmm.
There was one postponement, but we got that filled
We
in.
ended up being 2 games back in the Astros.
Only 2 games back of the Astros, and the unfortunate thing is that 5-5 in the last 10. If we were 2 games better in that last 10.
I mean, the Astros are 4-6, so
Yeah.
we did get some breaks, but
At home we were 14-10. On the road we were 13-23.
we got a little lucky. If I'm not mistaken, I think the Astros were the worst second place team in the league.
They were the worst second place.
So we did get a little lucky with being close, but you gotta take what you can get.
And we were the worst third place team, I think. You know, so yeah, the Phillies were the second worst, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So when you look at it, the Mariners, we
now
benefited from a weak division, but
you have to agree though, our division's not terrible because now the Astros are competing to go to go to the World Series. Wouldn't that be crazy if they win the World Series?
They will. The Rays are up 2-0 on them.
I know, but wouldn't that be crazy? Even if, even after the trash can thing,
That,
Houston would be like, we don't need trash cans.
That would be baseball's worst night.
That'd be, honestly.
For the MLB, just for the league, that would look really bad. But yeah, Mariners, I will say, we only got 24 games at home, it looks like, and they made us play 36 games on the road.
Ah, jeez.
And we were -10 on the road, +4 at home. So had we had a couple more home games, we could have been in the playoffs.
That sucks.
And I think that's partially because of
there's a couple from the smoke.
Their smoke lost us a few, and the A's had to.
The A's had to reschedule.
We did some double headers in Oakland that should have been played here because they had like one.
So
COVID
some bad breaks, but I mean, at least we got to play baseball because of COVID.
Yeah.
You can't get too complaining, but I guarantee you, don't know stats on this, but I can pretty much guarantee the Mariners travel the most out of anybody in the league.
Yeah, I think
if I was to guess, I mean, it's always because we're in the Northwest.
Well, not this year though. Because we didn't have to.
Yeah, I get it, but I still probably travel a lot. East Coast teams, they're like within like a.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, we had to go to Arizona at one point and Colorado.
Houston's not close.
No, that's true. Houston and Texas, Dallas, Texas as well.
So I think we probably did still travel the farthest.
Yeah, we probably did. So we can go. I thought we'd maybe do some position breakdowns.
Yeah.
So we'll start with the backstops, the catchers. Austin Nola
Traded
was
Austin
our
Nola.
main guy, but we did trade
Middle of
him.
the year, went to the Padres.
And it's interesting to look at because Nola, he started the most games, but not by much. 23 for him, 16 for Luis Torrens.
I mean, 7's a lot considering we only played 60 games.
That's true. And 15 for Joseph Odom. And then Joe Hudson, who was absolutely terrible in his 6 starts. And then we can look at the batting, how they did. You'll see that Austin Nola, in his time, did pretty well. He had a .306 batting average, which is
really good.
Really good, yeah.
And he did good with the Padres too.
And he did do well. With the
but
Padres.
I think that was overall a good trade because they gave us too much. They gave us too much not to turn that down.
Nola roped in so many good players for us. I mean, you look at the Taylor.
I think that our general manager loves Austin Nola, and I think he was really driving a hard bargain for him, but there's a certain point that even if you love a guy that much, you'd be so stupid to turn down a deal. What did we get? We got like a really good prospect.
Taylor Trammell, who is another one of our crowded outfield prospects now, and then we also got the Luis Torrens. We got his replacement.
Mm-hmm. I think we might be able to trade one of those.
A reliever who we think maybe can be a solid guy for us down the stretch, and this Ty France guy who we'll talk about in a few minutes.
Here, can I put on maybe thing that could happen next year?
Yes.
So I think maybe next year we could be in the same position as the Padres and maybe trade away one of our good young minor league outfielders for a guy like Austin Nola to, maybe carry us into the postseason and beyond. So I think we might do that just because we're really crowded in the outfield. Obviously, Kyle Lewis will hopefully be there another 10, 15 years, cross my fingers. So that spot's getting taken up. And we have a lot of young guys, so maybe we could use one of those guys as some leverage in a good trade down the line for a possible spot in the playoffs or to get deep in the playoffs. So I think good trade by the Mariners, but that's somebody else too. Or was that just a straight 1-for-1 trade?
No, it was like a 3-for-4. Yeah, we gave them 3, they gave us 4.
Okay, yeah, gotcha.
And the 4 that we got were, in my opinion, and I think in most people's opinion, much more than the 3 that we gave away. We also, a part of that was Luis Torrens, who ended up becoming our new starting catcher. So he ends up being considered the backup for the season, I guess. But yeah, he would be our second starter basically. He didn't do as well as Nola, but still at 254 batting average. He hit his first home run.
Good for him.
And
he's pretty. How
4
old
doubles.
is
he? Luis Torrens is not that old. He is 20-something, 24, as opposed to Nola.
Right?
Yeah, Nola is 30. Yeah. No. So we got a 6 years younger catcher who didn't do that much worse.
I mean, yeah. Austin Nola was definitely a better catcher.
The difference between them was Nola had 4 more home runs, but as far as runs batted in, he had more runs batted in as well and a higher batting average. But when you look at the breakdowns, they weren't honestly that much different, and Luis Torrens is better defensively as well.
Yeah,
because Austin Nola was a shortstop. He converted to catcher last.
No, it was a good trade. I'm not saying that, but Austin Nola I definitely think was a better catcher. But he's also in his prime. Torrens is probably entering his prime maybe in the next couple of years.
Yeah.
I don't think he's 24 is really going to be in his prime, but I mean, you can make a case for some players to be in their prime, such as Kyle Lewis. But we'll talk about him later.
And then the other 2 catchers we had. Joe Hudson, 176 batting average, and Joseph Odom, who hit 128. So neither of them are any good.
Yeah.
Neither of them. Is there any way that either of these guys is still on a playoff team for the Mariners?
They might be a backup catcher.
Possibly, but I would say, at this point, it looks to me like we're gonna get Tom Murphy back next year, right?
Yeah, I mean,
so we're gonna have
probably not. Depends though on how young they are. But let's move on. Let's keep.
Yeah,
let's keep this train. Let's go to DH.
Next position, we can do DH last because I don't think we have that.
No, we're ending on our center fielder.
You think? All right. Well, we can take to the infield for now at least.
Evan White,
first base.
Really good young guy.
52 of the starts there, so he was solid. He took that position.
Yeah,
he's our future there.
He is the best defensive first baseman we've had. Maybe in franchise history. He's so good defensively. His offense, he's
compared
young.
to John Olerud,
He's young, but he needs to get a little better in his offense.
I think the 6-year deal is paying off so far.
Yeah, but I do think that there were some question marks with his offense, but I think any young batter is usually going to struggle. There are outliers, such as Kyle Lewis, but I don't think we were kind of comparing Evan White to Kyle Lewis offensively, and I don't think that was fair to Evan White. Just because Kyle Lewis is really in a league of his own. Yeah,
Kyle Lewis really took off this year, and Evan White didn't take off as much, right?
But defensively, that's exactly what we expected, if not more. Yeah. Probably more. I mean, I know he was good, but he looked like a Gold Glove rookie season.
Yeah. No, it was, and I hope he does win Gold Glove. I think he should.
He's probably going to at some point. He's definitely going to in his career at some point, but he needs to get better offensively, pretty much bottom line. But he's young, so I'm not too concerned.
And to look at the offensive stats for him, he only hit 179, so that is the big concern.
That's really bad.
200s.
It's really bad.
But 8 home runs. He finished with 8 home runs, which I don't think I realized he hit 8 home runs this year.
He had played a lot of games, Levi.
Yeah, it's a pretty impressive 26 runs batted in. So for the team, that ranks him at tied for 3rd in home runs and 3rd in runs batted in as well. So that's pretty solid. The
Look, he
batting
was
average
good,
was lower, but he
179.
was a lot more clutch.
Like, if there's a guy, okay, if it's like, bottom 9th inning, we're like a 1 game back from the Astros next season, and there's a guy on first, and there's 1 out, and we really need a hit. Right now, I do not trust Evan White to get us that hit.
No, not
hitting 179, and that's what I think he needs to improve on. He needs to be the guy that when we need a single, when we need him to draw a walk, we can get him, because I think a clutch single is more important than being able to hit 8 home runs in a year.
Yeah.
Which is still good, but I'm not concerned again, but I do think he should be a little better than that going forward.
Yeah, and then, he's basically the only first baseman there. Obviously, Jose Marmolejos made a few, and Dylan Moore and Osinola as well, but they're all in the position. So, yeah, Evan White, no competition. He's the future. Do you agree? He's the future at first base.
He's the future at first base unless he puts up another, I would say, 3 years of below 200 hitting.
Yeah. Do you think that he will be on the next Mariners playoff team? Is Evan White the first baseman on the next Mariners playoff team?
Yes.
I would say yes as well.
Yes.
All right,
but you could see where I'm coming from. If he hits below 200 for the next 3 years,
obviously,
you can't keep him. If that.
But the goal is that next year, even 2 years from now, even he can hit 230 and we can be in the playoffs. I think.
So let's move on to second baseman.
Second base, it was actually pretty close as far as well, not really.
Not really.
Shedlong started about half the games,
32.
only 29.
Game
played
started.
yeah. And then the 3-way tie for second though between Dylan Moore, D. Gordon, and Ty France, and then Donnie Walton started that one lone.
Yay, go Donnie!
But yeah,
can we talk about D. Gordon now?
Shedlong blew it.
What happened to D? Okay, let's talk about Shedlong. Yeah.
And then the injury hurt him as well. But you look at Shedlong's batting stats.
When did he stop playing?
He hit 171. Well, they benched him, and then they were kind of like, okay, we'll play you a little bit, and then he got hurt and missed the rest of the season.
I mean, I don't know. I wasn't watching
the big issue with him is only 9 runs batted in and only 3 home runs, and he's supposed to be more of a power hitter, not really an average hitter. But when you're hitting 171 and you're not hitting for power, and you only have 9 runs batted in. And he struck out 37 times.
He might not be in our team next year.
And the speed isn't great. I think we're gonna give him.
The speed is good.
4 stolen bases, not a ton. The defensively, he's our best second baseman though. So I do think we're gonna give him a chance next year.
I don't know.
It'll depend.
How old is this guy? He's like late 20s.
He is, I think, maybe 26, 25. 25. So
yeah, he's got time to grow.
Soon. The thing about Long is the team loves him.
When I look at Long, I see high end potential. Like his ceiling is an average second baseman, and his floor is out of the league. Right? When I see Evan White, for example, who's hitting about the same, his ceiling is a superstar, and his bottom is borderline in and out of the minors.
Yeah.
I just think Shedlong just doesn't have that superstar/star appeal. I think that we might keep him around for a little bit, but personally, I don't think we're going to keep him around with Ty France, D. Gordon still doing okay, Dylan Moore, who's in his prime right now. So that's what my personal opinion.
Yeah, I think next year will probably be second base. It'll probably be split between Moore and Long, and whichever one of them does best is the guy that's going to be the starter going fourth. And
Where
I think right now, I think France probably DH in the future.
France was good though, not Marmolejos.
No, I don't see Marmolejos. He's about 29 now, right? He's getting pretty old.
He's a rookie though.
Yeah, he was one of the oldest rookies though, so I think that's the issue with him.
Can we talk about what happened to D. Gordon?
That's true. D. Gordon.
He went from one of my most favorite players to then just never playing. It's really actually kind of sad.
I will say Gordon did make some starts in left field as well. He was our third string left fielder. He made 10 starts there and 10 at second base.
Just what happened though?
But yeah, D. Gordon. Well, the problem with him is he doesn't fit into our plans anymore.
So we should trade him, you think?
I think we wanted to trade him, but he didn't hit well enough to get on the trade.
He went from a borderline all-star,
I know,
and to now not a starter.
He wasn't good this year, and
what is he hitting?
D. Gordon's batting stats would have been
not good.
He had 200 with 0 home runs and only 3 stolen bases, and the big issue there is just 1 double. He had 1 extra base hit the entire season.
The big issue there is also 3 stolen bases. He's deep.
And he's supposed to be a speed guy.
He's supposed to be a speed guy.
Yeah.
How does a speed guy have 1 double and 3 stolen bases? I mean, I guess when you're hitting 200, you don't get on base much, but
yeah, it was a big issue for him. Hopefully, I think he does make the team next year, barring a trade, because he is a veteran guy, but he'll definitely be a backup next year. The only issue there is like, what are we gonna do? Send him to the minors? Probably
it just
not.
really sucks. Cause I feel like he was one of our rising players that were gonna be on our team for a long time, and this year I really don't know what happened. I think the Mariners kind of gave other people a chance, and with that, maybe his confidence kind of dropped a little bit. Started hitting 200, wasn't as aggressive on the bases. He went from a really fast guy that everyone's like, D. Gordon, oh my god, I'm like D. Gordon, I'm not fast or whatever, to just a guy that no one really knows anymore, so that sucks.
Yeah, it's too bad.
Okay, so
thunderstorm outside. Yeah, we move on to shortstop, which was J.P. Crawford. Donnie Walton started 3, and then D. Gordon did start a couple at shortstop. Obviously, he used to be a shortstop, and Dylan Moore, but yeah, this was J.P. Crawford's position.
53, that is not even close.
Yeah, I think that may have been the most besides maybe Kyle Seager at any position and Kyle Lewis. So yeah, J.P. Crawford held that down, which is a little surprising to me considering, Dylan Moore is a shortstop naturally, and J.P. Crawford's batting stats, they weren't amazing. They did improve as the year went on. Mm-hmm. He hit 259. At one point he was hitting below 220, but he really bounced back at the end there. He had a really good start and a really good end. 23 runs batted in is good. Only 2 homers though, but again, Crawford not much of a power guy.
He's an average player.
And 6 stolen bases is good. Yeah, I mean he's an average shortstop, but at this point we don't have anyone better. I don't think.
I just think he's very streaky, and I don't like that. He's not consistent enough for me personally. He could either be a top 2 or 3 player on our team, or he could be a bottom 2 or 3 player on the team.
Yeah.
And it just kind of depends week to week. There's very little middle ground with him. And those 2 extremes kind of average out to be an average player. But I would take an average player over J.P. Crawford's average just because I feel like he's not consistent enough. However, I do see him being on the team next year.
So what do you think? Is he on the playoff team? Is he our shortstop in the next playoff team?
He's on our team next year. I can't see that far into the future for him.
For me, I'm saying yes because I think 2 years is our next playoff team, and I think he is. As far as Shed Long goes, that is much more uncertain. Yeah. I would say no for him.
I think JP's still uncertain, but I would say yes too. So
let's
move on to third.
Third base, and this one was Kyle Seager. The year, 53 games as well. And then Ty France would have been his backup, but
Ty France came in at the end of the year.
And then Moore, Haggerty, and Lopes, but they started a total of 3 games.
Where did Lopes play this game?
Lopes was basically DH in outfield.
He just bounced around a lot.
Yeah, we put him because he's an infielder, but we only played him once at infield, and that was at third, which is not in his position.
I'm a big Tim Lopes guy.
We know you are.
Yeah,
right? You
I'm a Tim Lopes guy.
Didn't you?
Debut and first home run ball.
So as far as Kyle Seager went, what a year for him. He actually played in all but 3 games. He had 259 as well, same as J.P. Crawford, but
he's crazy
11 home runs.
He's like the 4th most home runs.
9 home runs.
He's like the 4th most home runs in Mariners history.
Yeah, he passed Jay Buhner.
Yeah, 4th most RBIs in Mariners history. He's like 4th in all his categories behind Ichiro, Edgar, and Griffey.
Yeah, Kyle Seager, he is definitely he's going to go down and hit. He's a Mariners Hall of Famer. Do you think he is? I think
he's a Mariners Hall of Famer, not a Hall of Famer.
Not a Hall of Famer.
Definitely Mariners Hall of Famer.
Now, if Seager has 5 strong seasons and the Mariners win a World Series.
Yeah, okay. For Kyle to be a Hall of Famer, he'd have to make the All-Star team the next 4 years.
No, I would say he needs 3 All-Stars.
No, I would say he needs
among 5 solid seasons, and we have to make the playoffs 3 times and win a World Series.
I think he needs to go 4 or 5 All-Stars if we have to win a World Series.
He's beginning to gather those counting stats.
I know, and he has to hit like a game-winning home run or something in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Like something for like his legacy, Probably not going to happen, but Kyle Seager is the definition of a good, solid, consistent player. I remember when he entered the league, I was really excited for this guy. I met him in did I ever tell you I met him in spring training?
Yes, I heard about that.
Yeah, he's a really, really nice guy.
And it was a good bounce back for Seager because I think, going into the year, he was like, borderline top 20 third baseman. The defense was there. The offense hasn't really been there. This year, the offense showed up. I think he's back to being a top half of third baseman in the league.
Definitely.
Probably not top 10, just because there's a lot of good third basemen.
There's a lot of good third basemen.
But
he's good. He's good. Lots of people were kind of looking past him because of his brother Corey Seager.
Yeah.
Who looked really good his first 4 or 5 years in the league. Still looking good, but Kyle Seager I feel like is back on that equal level playing field as Corey. So you want to move on to, what do you want to go do next?
I thought we'd do designated hitter next, then we can go to the outfield.
Okay.
So for designated hitter, you look at the Seattle Mariners.
What do you think about our coaching staff this year? How much longer do you think our head coach is gonna head coach?
It's interesting because Scott Service is now our second longest tenured manager.
Yeah.
Which to me that's crazy because he has had 2 winning seasons out of 5.
But you have to give him some credit. He's had some sort of a rebuild. I mean, this looks like a team that can win a World Series. And can you say that about the last couple of guys that's been in the Mariners organization?
No.
So I think we keep him until.
To me, it's just interesting because, we fired McClendon after 1 losing season, but we let Service go not only after 1, but now it's been 3 losing seasons, and we still haven't fired him yet.
But
and McClendon was a guy who some people thought he was going to get us to the playoffs back when we had, Cano and Felix was really good.
I think the difference is that no one expected us to make the playoffs last 3 years. They expected us to make the playoffs 4 years ago.
Yeah, back then when we had McClendon, we should have been in the
I think Service has actually done a great job. I don't think his job was to win the last 3 years, personally. I think his job was to...
The last 2. I think in 2018,
he had a chance, but I don't know. Personally, I think he did a good job. I think we keep him until this team fails.
Yeah.
And then, or if we go if we're last in our division next year, we fire him. But I think he's fine for now. Okay, so
so go on to DH, and our starting DH was Daniel Vogelbach.
Yeah.
He only started 17 though.
This was really
Right behind him was Tim Lopes at 14, and Jose Marmoleos 10, Ty France 9, Kyle Seager 6. And then Sam Haggerty, Kyle Lewis, Shed Long, and Osanola all getting in there with 1.
I didn't know Ty France at 9. That's actually kind of a lot.
Yeah, that was basically what they put him in as.
And Seager at 6?
Yeah, Seager. So basically Seager
started 59 games?
Yeah, 53 at third base and 6 at DH.
So he had 1 game he didn't start. I'm sure that was just an off
game. That's
crazy. You want to check Marmoleos' stats, will ya?
Yeah, we can look at the Jose Marmoleos, and we can check out... Vogelbach.
I have to tell you this. When I saw our day opener Mariners game and I saw Marmoleos left field, I was like, Marmo, what now?
Yeah, I know, me as well.
Who the heck
had no
is
idea
this
they
guy?
were going to be starting.
Left fielder, comes from AA. Ended up having an average season. I think it was kind of a filler.
Marmoleos 6 home runs and he hit 208. But the big thing is that who knew that he was going to hit 6 home runs and be a 5th on the team in homers as a rookie? Who was
he didn't play that much. He didn't play how many at-bats does he have?
He ended up with only 106 at-bats.
Compared to Kyle Lewis's
lower than everybody.
201.
Yeah, so that's 100 less.
If you times that by 2, he has 12 home runs.
Which would have led the team.
Yeah, so, hey.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be on our team in a couple years, but I don't think I think he's going to be a backup DH.
To me, I think he's probably a guy maybe we can trade.
Really? I don't know who wants Marmoleos.
I don't know. I don't see him fitting in with the Mariners though either. Because if you notice, towards the end of the season, we stopped giving him playing time.
Yeah, I think a backup.
Yeah. And then the main DH of obviously Daniel Vogelbach, we traded him to the Blue Jays.
For literally nothing.
And then they got rid of him, and now he ended up on the Brewers.
What did
he
get?
actually made the playoffs. Imagine that.
You got some money?
Yeah, we got
Did he get an at-bat?
Cash prize, I think. I don't think he may have had an at-bat, but I saw his Instagram. He was in the playoffs with the Brewers. He made it before the Mariners did. So
there you go, Vogelbach. Yeah.
His stats were absolutely trash. He hit
a grand total of
0.94 with two home runs, and he's supposed to be a power hitter. And the big issue there though was he only had 4 runs batted in. And if you're a DH and you only have 4 RBI, you're not good enough to be a DH.
I remember the Mariners' Instagram, and it was probably a week or 2 before we traded him, and it was his first home run of the season. It was Vogel bombs are back, and everybody in the comments was just absolutely destroying. Took it long enough. When I see Vogelbach get up to the plate, I just go to the bathroom because I know the inning's gonna be over.
Yeah,
so I don't think most people are mad about this, except for maybe the random 4th or 5th grader that's Vogel bombs. I love Vogelbach.
Yeah.
But he's not a good player. He had I can't believe he was an all-star.
I know, just a year ago.
That's baseball for you. It's baseball.
Yeah,
for you.
it is. All right, we'll move over to the outfield now, and starting off with left field, which was one of the hardest positions for the Mariners to fill. Jose Marmolejos actually was our starting left fielder this year with 15 games.
Barely ahead of Tim Lopes.
Tim Lopes 14, D. Gordon 10, Sam Haggerty also 10. Sam
Gordon.
Haggerty would have had more if he didn't get injured. And then Dylan Morgan.
That name doesn't even recognize.
Even Dylan Morgan. He was a rookie. We got him from the Mets. We claimed him from the Mets. And he actually did good until he was injured. And then even Shed Long played left field. Braden Bishop, Jake Fraley. Lots of guys played left field.
You know that.
We need to solve left field. But the good news is we
might
have a left fielder coming back if Mitch Haniger is healthy.
Oh, I forgot about him.
If he ever is healthy, he could play. Do you think? Because, I mean...
So what's our starting out? Like, what's dream outfield? We have Haniger. We have Kyle Lewis.
We're talking next year?
Next year. Haniger, Kyle Lewis, right field. What's a young guy that could come up?
The question for right field is, are we going to try Malik Smith there again next year?
What's a young guy that could come up next year? Is that a possibility?
Well, Kellenick hopefully will be up next year. Actually, our starting right fielder was Phillip Ervin, who may or may not be on the team next year. Or we could have Dylan Moore, or it could be your favorite Tim Lopes. Or Jake Fraley, or Braden Bishop. These are all the guys who played in right field. Yeah, we'll check out. We can check him out when we get to the utility guys. Actually,
Tim Lopes hitting 236.
Yeah,
my boy Tim.
Yeah, check out Phillip Ervin. What do you think about him? He was. We got him mid-season from the Reds. 28 years old. Well, he's hitting 149,
so not
he hit 149, but clearly we thought he was okay. He had 0 home runs and 4 RBI. I think there's no reason why we should have given him as much playing time as we did.
Especially because he was hitting 149.
And we benched Shed Long, who was hitting 180. So, I mean, at that point, it's just ridiculous to me that we gave him that much playing time. Phillip Ervin, he won't be on the team next year, do you think?
Not hitting 149.
All right.
I'll tell you that much. He better wow us in the spring training or something, because hitting 149, yikes.
So we can do center field, and then we'll go to utility players. Does that sound good?
I say we go to utility players and end it on our boy.
End it on our boy? All right.
Yeah, let's do it.
So check out utility players. So as far as guys that started the most games but didn't actually have the most at any position. And
Dylan Moore?
Well, hold on. That doesn't make sense, because where's Kyle Seager? Where's some of these all positions? It looks like the app we're using isn't really working. We can go to this other site.
I'll tell you my 30-second synopsis of the season. I think the Mariners outperformed all expectations this year for 90% of their fans. The fact that we were 2 games away from a playoff berth for the first time in, 19 years?
Yeah, 19 years.
It is crazy. It's going to be 20 years. That'd be great if we could end it on number 20. Longest active streak, longest streak ever in MLB. And I think what this season has shown us is that the end is near. I think the difference between this team and the Cano team with Cruz, etc. They were old. Like there was a deadline. You had 1, maybe 2 years, and that's it. This team, bar a couple of bad decisions such as getting rid of Kyle Lewis or letting someone else take him for more money, Evan White going, etc. This team is here to stay longer than 1 or 2 years.
Yeah.
And I think that's the big difference. That's my big takeaway. My other big takeaway is that our division is really, is not dominated by any one team. Last year Astros won it. This year the A's won it. We don't have to worry about a team that is going to dominate the division for the next 10 years. So I don't think it's unrealistic to say we win the division in the next 5 years. Yeah,
we're not playing with the Dodgers in the
exactly. So I think this year has really shown me that we are a playoff team in the next 5 years. Really, without a doubt in my mind. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I agree. So as far as utility guys go, there's basically 3 guys we use as utility, a couple others as well. But the main 3 would have been, you want to say them?
Who?
Dylan Moore.
Oh, Dylan Moore, Tim Lopes, and D. Gordon.
So we've already talked about Gordon, so we don't need to talk about him. But 22 starts, but
Dylan Moore was great. I love Dylan Moore this year.
Dylan Moore was a breakout.
Really old second year player.
See his stats was incredible this year.
He had a 4-game stretch with he hit a home run every single game.
In a low sample size, Dylan Moore hit 255, which is much higher than last year. He hit 212, I think. and 8 home runs, which is close to what he hit last year. I think he had 9 last year in like 100 games, and 8 this year in 36. 9 doubles, which was 3rd on the team. Only 17 RBI. That's a little bit of a problem, but remember, the first half of the season, we were hitting him in like the 8th spot. So you're not getting very many
RBIs are
opportunities
sometimes a little lucky, just based on.
It depends on where you're hitting, and Dylan Moore and his defense improved as well. He's very versatile.
He had a really good middle stretch where he was hitting like 3-something.
The problem with him is his injuries. He's now been injured 3 times in 2 years.
Yeah, he's.
What do you think? Do you think that Dylan Moore stays on the team as a utility man, or stays on the team but gets to be a starter somewhere, or do we trade him?
He's gonna be an all-time utility man for the next 4 or 5 years.
I think that's where the Mariners want him as well. Somewhere like a Whit Merrifield or like a Kiki Hernandez.
Yeah. I just don't know exactly his health. I don't know what is gonna happen with that. I think there's probably a reason why it took him so long to get to the majors.
I think he was just never considered.
There was probably a couple injury setbacks. If I was to put, if I was to guess.
I mean, Dylan Moore, he was drafted way older than most. Most players in the majors are guys that were drafted out of high school. Dylan Moore played in college, so he was drafted in his 20s, and he took him a couple years in the minors, and the Mariners kind of just found him as like a minor league free agent, and he did so well last year in spring training that we called him, and he's been good ever since. And I think this year proved that Dylan Moore deserves to stay around. I think.
You want to end on our. You want to go pitchers or center fielder?
We can do center field and then go to pitchers.
Center field.
Kyle Lewis.
Kyle Lewis, baby.
56 games started there. Braden Bishop was his backup, but Braden Bishop only managed 2.
Quote unquote.
Yeah. Kyle Lewis, Rookie of the Year? I think he is.
Roy.
Look at his stat line. Just really good. He hits 259,
he was hitting way better in the beginning of the year.
But the key there is 11 home runs. And those RBIs at 28 leads the team in both second on the team in RBIs, but leading in home runs. Kyle Lewis looks good, and the most impressive thing for me though was his defense. Did you see his?
Oh yeah, that rob against King Griffey.
He had like 5 or 6 plays like that, and this is a guy who he comes off of an injury last year, barely had played last year. They put him in AA, and then all of a sudden they're like, let's just call him to the majors and see how he does. A guy who most people thought his best chance at making the team after his injury. Before the injury, he was our number 1 prospect. But after the injury, most people thought this is a guy who maybe could be like a DH or a backup outfielder or something. No. He is a center fielder, and he looks really good.
Well, I think the most impressive thing was he was hitting above 300 for the majority of the year. Yeah. He had like a 7 or 8 game stretch where he was really struggling. He kind of bounced back, but never really did. But I think if he had like those 10 or 15 games and had like 1 hit a game, or like even average like 0.7 hits a game there, he would be at 300 and he'd be no doubt Roy. The 259 doesn't look great,
but I think it's still better than Luis Robert, who is his big competition right now. And you look at the
I know. I'm saying in the beginning of the year he was above 300 for. Do you remember how long that was?
I do remember.
It was forever. I don't know when.
As far as OPS goes, Luis Robert was slightly higher than. Hold on. Oh, this is postseason stats. Never mind. As far as regular season stats, between Robert and Lewis was higher. Yeah, Lewis had a higher OPS.
By a lot too, right?
And not by that much. Lewis would have been at 800, and Luis Robert at 738. So it was like kind of close. But I think if they're smart, they make the right decision. Give it to Kyle Lewis. Then the question becomes, what path is he going from here? Because obviously, some Rookie of the Years end up being amazing, right?
Yeah.
Ken Griffey. Who else? You look at Mike Trout. Guys like that. Some of them end up being terrible, like Chris Coughlin, or Michael Fulmer hasn't proven anything since his rookie campaign with the Tigers. So, does Kyle Lewis, is he a breakout or is he a bust?
He's a breakout.
He's a breakout?
He is star all over his name. We can only hope. For me,
Talk about the guy that he stole center field from. Malik Smith was terrible.
His name is not even Kyle Lewis. His name is just Star. I mean, he is so good. I think he's going to be on our team for 10, 15 years.
So outfield next year. Him and center. Do you think Haniger's back?
I don't know. I haven't really checked in on Haniger. How's his injury looking?
They think he can be back by February for spring training, so. Here's my outfield guess. My guess is opening day outfield. We've got Lewis in center. Hopefully Haniger is in right field, and I think D. Gordon left field. I think we're gonna give him a chance next year, but he deserves a shot.
You don't think Marmolejos?
I think Marmolejos might be on the team, but he won't be starting.
How about Ty France played out there a little bit, right?
No, he's not. He's an infielder.
Yeah, okay.
I bet Ty France will be a starting. Well,
but he did play. He played 9 games. He played 9 games outfield.
No.
Yeah, Ty France did.
No, Dylan Moore.
No, Ty France.
Maybe.
But in Kellenic, do you think he's gonna play next year?
I think he will, but not opening day. Why don't we go over what's your opening day lineup prediction right now?
I'll just tell you my changes.
Yeah.
I think my change would be opening day left field is Marmolejos, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, this year opening day was Marmolejos. Yeah.
So I would definitely change that prediction from Marmolejos to probably either D. Gordon or. Would Dylan Moore have a chance up there?
He could, yeah. He did play some left field, and he's a capable defender there.
I don't know. I would really like Kellenic. I want to give as many young guys a chance as possible, but I think probably D. Gordon would be my guess in left.
I'm going there as well.
Center
the
field
other big
would be Kyle Lewis, and right field. I want to put my money on this, but hopefully it's Haniger.
And then the other two positions.
First base we have Evan White.
First base we have Evan White. Second base. Do you think is it Shedlong?
I think
Shedlong.
I don't know who else could be there. Who else could be
there? The other ones there would be probably either
we have
France
D. Gordon
or Moore.
starting left, so I want Ty France to start there, but I think you probably need to Shedlong, and I think Ty France is going to steal the job from him. But I'll give it to Moore. I'll give it to Long at the start of the year, second. Then shortstop
Crawford. Right?
Yeah, JP, he dominated this year.
And Seager at third.
Catcher,
who do you got? I think Tom Murphy, right? He'll be back from his injury.
Yeah,
Luis Torrens could, though. It depends on spring training.
He didn't play terrible.
And then
we went over it. He was hitting 250 or something like that.
Yeah.
Through 20 games.
And the biggest question mark, I think, is DH. Who's our DH next year?
I think our biggest question mark is consistent pitching.
Consistent pitching?
Yeah, I really do. I think DH could be Tim Lopes.
Tim Lopes? I'm going Ty France opening day, but it'll be
I really want Ty France to play second base.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put Tim Lopes at that, or Marmolejos too.
All right, so why don't we move on now to the pitching?
This is our biggest weakness in my opinion, personally. I don't like our pitching.
Marco Gonzalez was absolutely phenomenal. Look at his stats.
Yeah, he was amazing.
11 game starts, so he leads the team there. And he had 6 quality starts, which would have been tied with Justice Sheffield for the most. But the big thing there, 7-2.
What determined the quality start?
Quality start, I think it's 6 innings and 3 runs or less.
Okay.
So basically, if you go 6 innings and give up 3 runs or anything,
him and Justin Sheffield doubled our second.
Yeah.
No. Justin down at 4, but still. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so if you look at that, he had 70 innings for Marco Gonzalez, which is really good there. ERA would have been 3.1, which is really good. And the whip at 0.95.
And how many innings?
70 innings. Oh, so obviously a pretty limited size, but still, it was a good season for Marco.
That's averaging a little under 7 innings a game.
He has gone from being someone who was kind of maybe an ace to someone who is pretty much the ace.
He went to being pretty much a borderline first, maybe second pitcher in the rotation.
Going into this year, it was
now he's no doubt ace.
Going into this year, the story with the Mariners pitching staff was, we don't have an ace. Maybe it's Gonzalez. Maybe Kikuchi will be our ace. But maybe Taijuan Walker is our best. But we don't have
Justin Dunn was a good surprise.
Yeah, looking at, Justice Sheffield was the big one. 10 games for both Sheffield and Dunn. We can compare them together. Sheffield had 6 quality starts. Dunn had 4.
Yeah. ERA, Justin Dunn had 4.34, 3.58.
Yeah, Sheffield. Look at that, 3.50. I did not realize that.
Sheffield was really good.
Check out strikeouts, though. Marco Gonzalez killed him in strike 64. That's impressive. And only 7 walks. Only 7. Dang. Marco Gonzalez struck out 64 and only walked 7. Look at this home run stat for Justice Sheffield.
2 home runs
in 55 innings.
And you say Kikuchi had 3.
Yeah, that's pretty consistent there. That's good.
Yeah, 8-2. Justin Dunn was a little increase at 10, but
yeah.
I don't like how I got rid of Taijuan Walker. Can we talk about that?
I think that was a pretty bad
I
trade.
think that was a really bad trade. We
could have been in the playoffs.
I know. We got
nothing.
We got the 23rd best prospect in the Blue Jays system.
And he was an outfielder, which we don't need outfield prospects.
Can you imagine trading?
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
But people say we're gonna re-sign him. But
you
I
can
don't
see
know about
Walker's stat line: only 5 games, but 3 quality starts, and he was 2-2, 27 innings. 25 strikeouts and a 4 ERA. So he was pretty much generically an average pitcher, but we could have used an average pitcher.
3 quality starts.
Because when you compare him to Yusei Kikuchi, Yusei Kikuchi was a lot worse. Kikuchi, 4 more games and the same
number
amount.
of quality starts.
2 and 4. And his ERA was terrible, 5.17.
I'll ask you to the viewers and you, Levi. Do you think Taijuan Walker will be re-signed by the Mariners?
No.
See, I do.
You do.
I really want it to happen, so I'm gonna believe in it. I think the Mariners are smart enough. I mean, they did say in the press conference or whatever that they were gonna try to get him back after the season.
Yeah, but they said that about every player they trade.
No, the Vogelback.
Not Vogelback.
To Austin Nola, I
think they did.
I'm pretty sure they didn't. I would like to see Taijuan back. I think he probably will. So hopefully, I think Taijuan, good young pitcher, had some terrible injuries.
Young. He's not that young. He is 28. So basically, he's in his prime.
No, but he had a lot of injuries, so he's still entering his prime.
Yeah.
Developmental-wise, he's young.
And then the other guys who we had as starters, Nick Margevicius, 3-2 record, but ERA at 4.57. Do you think he'll be in our rotation next year?
I cannot tell you.
I think he probably will be at the start, but not by the end. I think we got some younger guys that are better than him.
Justin Dunn, you want to talk about him for a little bit?
Yeah, Justin Dunn, not as good as Sheffield, but definitely.
4.34 ERA.
There was a lot of questions going into the season of, is Justin Dunn a starter or a bullpen guy? And I think this year he kind of proved that going forward, he's a starter.
Yeah, I do think we need to get an ace closer. We don't have that yet.
And we traded the one guy who looked like.
We had who? Diaz?
Taylor Williams.
We had Diaz a couple years back. We got rid of him to the Mets.
Yeah, Kendall Graveman, unfortunately for him, only gets to start 2 games. We put him in the bullpen after that injury, but
And Nestor Cortez had a 15 ERA. 15, yeah. Oh, that's terrible.
I watched the one game that he played, and he was not good. Yeah, LJ Newsome. He was okay at first. He kind of cooled off. And the only other guy who started, I guess not really the only, because that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The 10th guy who started, we used 10 starters, was Jimmy Yacobonis. What kind of name is that?
No, yeah, right.
Yeah.
Relief pitcher.
Yeah.
2 games played. Let's go.
2 innings. He made 1 start, but he only went 2 innings. As far as saves went, yeah, Taylor Williams had 6, and then we traded him. And then Yoshi, who I am a big fan of, Yoshi had 4. Johan Ramirez 3, Dan Altavilla 1, and Carl Edwards. I didn't realize he even played. I thought he was hurt the whole season. 1.
What do you think about Kikuchi?
Kikuchi isn't going to be an issue. I think we'll keep him for next year because we like him. But it'll be interesting to see how it goes. But looking at the rotation next year, who do you think is our rotation, the starting 5?
Marco, Sheffield, Dunn, probably Kikuchi, and I cannot tell you who's 5. Start of the year, I'm going Marco 1, Sheffield 2. Yeah,
probably
Marco
probably
1,
Kikuchi will be 3.
No, I want Dunn 3.
And then, Dunn 4. And then for me,
Kikuchi 4,
I'm going Margevicius.
Why though?
I'm going Margevicius because, he's...
Honestly, I have no opinion on 5th. Yeah. I could care less who's 5th.
By the end of the season, it should be Logan Gilbert. I think it should be.
Yeah, but I don't know. Starting day?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think so. 30-second synopsis of the season. Go.
30 seconds.
Overall reaction. If someone asks you, Mariners season.
The Mariners did much better than I thought they would. They outplayed my expectations, and I'm pretty excited going forward after this. The young guys did well, and Kyle Lewis is the big story there with the Rookie of the Year.
Okay. Give me your prediction when the Mariners will make the playoffs.
2022.
2022. When the Mariners will win the division.
Hard to say. I'm going to go 2023.
When will the Mariners make the World Series?
I'm going...
Gotta make... Yes.
2049.
Prediction. 2049. Okay. Martin Mariners won a World Series.
Yeah, that's tough.
2049.
2073.
There you go, folks. Me and Levi will be around. We'll be a little bit older. NW Sportscast is probably not going to be going on then. But you never know. We might be
pass it on to someone else.
We might be hugely successful. This might be our job when we're 70. Who knows? Who knows?
Be the next Chuck and Buck.
I think that we are going to make the playoffs in 2 years. I think we are going to win the division in 2 years. I think we are going to make the World Series in 4 years. I think we're going to win the World Series in 4 years.
4 years.
Yeah. I have faith in our guys. I have faith. Maybe 5 years. I'll give them 5, actually.
We can only hope. All right.
Okay, so let's
we
move on to
touch
the
a little bit
Storm.
on the Seattle Storm. Yeah, look at this.
They're the most dominant team in Seattle
winning
history.
again.
They are amazing. We have Sue Bird. We have
Breanna Stewart, who's just
Breanna
amazing.
Stewart, who's the best player in the league, in my opinion. Most people's opinions.
Yeah,
There's this person
the Storm
from
was
Las
dominant.
Vegas.
They won the conference 18-4, and they
had the best record in the WNBA. They swept in the finals. They swept in the playoffs, I'm pretty sure. And maybe they lost 1 game. But Sue Bird is literally turning 40 and still playing elite basketball.
Yeah, in fact, she turns 40 in 3 days.
Good for her.
Yeah.
She's the Tom Brady of the sport of WNBA
Honestly,
basketball.
yeah, she is. And she's won a lot.
Yeah, well, if you look at the titles we've won like 3 or something like that in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
It's been crazy.
I mean,
Sue Bird Sue Bird was on our 2004 team that went to the WNBA championship, and she's still on our team in 2020.
I know, that's crazy.
That is crazy.
I don't watch much of Seattle Storm, but from the few games that I did see,
I don't watch
they
that much,
really
but,
dominant.
yeah, but can you believe that? She was 24 when she was in the Seattle Storm, and she is still here as a 40-year-old woman winning us a title.
Yeah.
So, Breanna Stewart, I feel like, could continue this legacy. I'd be really excited to see that happen. So, congratulations, WNBA Storm.
Yeah.
Title, woo, Storm. I mean, they're on our intro for a reason.
And speaking of Seattle teams that are in first place, the
Sounders. I love a good Sounders game.
9 wins, 3 draws, and 4 losses. They lead the Western Conference in points. I don't even know any of their players.
Can you believe that? NW Sportscast, Northwest, the 2 Northwest teams, the Portland Timbers and the Seattle Sounders are tied for points. We are ahead in head-to-head matchups, but Northwest, I mean, we do hate the Timbers because they're Sounders rivals, but
I think it's all because of Stephen Fry. That guy's just amazing.
Yeah, Stephen Fry is so good. He's Swiss, so,
Yeah.
I mean, what do you expect? And we have, Ru Diaz. But I don't know if you watched the bubble, but they did not play good in their Seoul bubble playoff game. I watched it. They could not move the ball. They could not score. Their defense was kind of non-existent, to be honest. It was kind of Stephen Fry kind of putting us in the game and trying to keep us alive. And that's kind of what it's been like. But, obviously we have a good team. Should stay that way. So good for the Sounders. The good thing about the MLS is they play so much of the year.
Yeah.
They play like 10 months of the year. Then they have a 2-month break and they're right back at it. It seemed like just yesterday that their season was over and now they're back in the kick of things. So Sounders should have another title.
I think they're going for another title again. And
title.
You know what? Seattle, bring them on. Bring them on.
Yeah.
Talk about another team, the Seahawks. We'll touch on them briefly.
So how about you
27-26.
Yeah, let's talk for 4 or 5 minutes. This will be our Vikings-Seahawks reaction. Let's go.
Well, for me, I'll give my little recap. After a dominant first game, the Hawks have gotten worse in each game since. Now it's 4 straight 1-score games, so we're looking just like we did last year. We're 5-0 for the first time in franchise history.
I really thought we were different.
But we're sitting at it's a 5-0, but it's an embarrassing 5-0, I think. But it's still, that game we should have lost it. The Vikings coach lost that for themselves.
I like the call.
I mean,
I personally like the call.
I would have never. But you know me, when I play Madden, I'm one of the most conservative play callers.
Yeah. You're like the coach that everyone screams at to go for, and,
Yeah.
and you punt the ball. You know, when you're
Yeah.
down 10 with 3 minutes left.
But I mean, seriously, all they needed was a field goal. They would have won.
Up by 8.
But the Seahawks missed our 2-point conversion.
I think the bigger thing was them not going for 2, their last touchdown. Because if they go for 2, then they're up by 6.
Yeah.
A field goal puts them up by 9. If they miss that, a field goal puts them up by 7 anyways. So what's the difference between 7 and 8? You know, like a 2-point conversion. If Russell Wilson's going to go all the way down there and score that touchdown, I
thought they did.
on
I thought they went for 2 and missed it.
No, they didn't.
Oh,
they were going to, but then they sounded like a field goal team.
Yeah, the coach made some questionable decisions. I think
I like the end call.
the Vikings will keep him, but I think that if I'm the coach, it's terrible.
So, I'll give my quick review. Seahawks, I've been saying this for the last couple weeks. They didn't look the best. Russell Wilson did not play great, except for the last drive. When you need him the most, he's always there for you. Russell Wilson, he played a good game just because of that last drive, but if he misses that last drive, he played a way below average game. Worst QBR of the year so far for Russ. Second worst QBR was last week against Miami. And the Vikings defense is nothing to write home about, nor is Miami's defense. So the fact that was the lowest QBR second straight week, not good. This is pretty much the second straight week that Tyler Lockett pretty much disappeared.
But the good news is DK Metcalf is one of the best receivers in the NFL.
Yeah, top 10.
And the Seahawks are the only 5-0 team, and if the Titans hold on right now against the Bills, it's going to stay that way.
14-10, yeah, and the Titans will get the ball at half. That we're literally in the middle of Tuesday Night Football. Would you look at that? Second time ever. You know, the first time was because of a blizzard that was rescheduled it. Interesting fact. Second time.
And there may be more coming up this year because who knows what.
I think key for the Seahawks to be a Super Bowl contender. I mean, you do have to look at it. And the Chiefs did lose, so they are 5-0, and 5-0 is 5-0. And you know the saying that your record is what you are. Yeah. And we're 5-0, but it is an ugly 5-0. I think we really have to go back to our Russell's throw attempts have decreased every single game pretty much.
And the running game hasn't been great. I think, but the big issue here is the defense has to improve. We should get Jamal back soon. So
our pass rush has been really bad, and I love it how
we got Snacks.
Yay.
Snacks Harrison.
All of the Seattle, all the hardcore Seattle defense defenders who were like, whoa, we're not that bad. Last week, we're saying how good our run defense was. We were 6th in the league in run defense. Rushing yards allowed. And then their backup running back just ran all over us. What was your reaction to that? I mean, that was just terrible.
Yeah, we can't really stop the run.
What's his name? Madison? Madison literally just ran all over us. There was 3rd and 4, and they got it. I feel like for me, I said this over and over again to Seth, but a 2-yard run turned into a 4-yard run every single time. I felt like.
It really did, and maybe that's just credit to Madison, not to our.
But I really don't think so. I really just think it's our defense being bad. Madison played a good game, but so I think bad win for the Seahawks. That was a great game to watch. Great game to watch.
Yeah, it was. I think that was the best game to watch, and it was the first game that I was really actually nervous about the Hawks' chances. Yeah. Same.
Go! Our channel has a crazy reaction, almost hitting 200 views on that reaction. Yeah. Go watch that. Gets to 200 views. Leave a like and subscribe on this video. Leave a comment. Yeah. But let's wrap up this segment with really quickly. Let's just talk about the NBA.
LeBron is the GOAT.
No, MJ is, but he is second GOAT. And LeBron, he's really good. I have to admit, he's really good. And the Lakers with AD, LeBron, next year should be a really fun year. With the Clippers wanting to go back and do it again, Giannis wanting to come back and do it again, a young Mavericks team, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson coming back wanting to run it up. The Raptors looked really good.
Don't worry, the Lakers are here to stay.
Yeah, but
trust me, as long as they have LeBron, they're here to stay.
I saw an article earlier today that I thought was really interesting. It was get ready for the most intriguing year of NBA you've ever seen, and that's this upcoming year. And I really think that could possibly be it, because LeBron is getting older. You have to admit that. Anthony Davis is in his prime, which is good for him, but LeBron's getting older, and it's not like they won no doubtedly this year.
I think they kind of did.
They
tore up the West. best.
It went to 6 games. In the bubble,
Yeah.
they were not the best to start off. They were beaten with a Jimmy Butler-led team. And Jimmy Butler, Butler arguably looked better than LeBron.
I think that's more credit to Butler and the Heat than it is ripping on LeBron.
I get that, but Tyler Hero and, Tyler Hero, Jimmy Butler, and, a handful of other guys.
Really good.
He is, but he's a rookie. A handful of other guys single-handedly won 2 games against the Lakers.
Yeah.
The Lakers should.
The Lakers are an old veteran team, but I think they have a couple more.
They're one of the
more playoff contentions in the.
They're one of the first NBA title teams that don't have that third guy. That they can always.
Well, I would argue that they do.
Who's that third guy?
Kyle Kuzma.
Oh my God, Levi.
You know me. I love Kyle Kuzma.
I don't know you. You love Kyle Kuzma?
Yes, I do.
Okay,
Kyle Kuzma and Isaiah Caruso.
We might wrap it up here because that's super dumb. Kyle Kuzma is not that good.
Who is the Raptors' third guy?
You have Kyle Lowry, you have Kawhi, and you have Fred VanVleet.
Freddie VanVleet.
He is the third guy.
He was better than every other guy.
No. When you want to hit a 3, Freddie VanVleet.
And you don't think Kyle Kuzma is even close?
No, when you need a clutch 3 from Danny Green, Kyle Kuzma, KCP, nah. Fred VanVleet, yeah.
Maybe.
Yes, sir.
And how about the other guy?
What other guy?
Tall. Has the same hair as Anthony Davis.
What are you talking about?
Wait,
what was it? Sorry, I was
for the Lakers. Tall guy.
Oh,
Yeah.
He's the center, so you're not going to rely on him to make.
And how about their point guard?
Their point guard wasn't playing in the bubble this year.
Yeah, that's true.
Avery Bradley.
He could have been their third guy.
But he wasn't.
But their replacement for him was?
Like Danny Green, right?
Was it Danny Green?
No, it was kind of LeBron.
Well, I got a feel for Danny Green. Didn't he get death threats after?
Yeah, not good. Danny Green.
He missed one shot.
Danny Green. Well, he missed more than one shot. He missed a lot of shots. But Danny Green went from being a clutch player who actually made an NBA Finals game winner with the San Antonio Spurs.
All Danny Green does is win. He has got 3 titles under his belt.
And then miss, and they're paying him $18 million to miss corner 3s. Put me out there, I'll make one more than Danny Green. He was literally 1 for 18 and really bad. But I think that's it. Let's wrap up the show.
All right, that's it. Thank you for watching the Northwest Sportscast Mariners season review, and make sure you leave a like, and maybe leave a comment even.
Subscribe.
Tell us your thoughts. Tell us what we said that's dumb.
Yes.
Tell us what we said that's smart.
Tell us some hot takes that you want us to talk about.
Yeah. Give some questions.
You never know. You might be on the show if you reach out to us. Yeah.
You never even know.
And so when are we going to be back with our power rankings? And can you tell people?
Hopefully maybe on Thursday we'll get those power rankings out. No Thursday night football tonight, so we do have
our previews for the game.
Yeah.
We were going to do it today, but Tuesday night football, can't prepare for that.
Yeah,
Tuesday night football. Okay, thank you for watching.
All right.
NW Sportscast. Bye. Come on, please still be filming. Yes. 57 minutes. That was a good hour.
Nice,
yeah. Hey, Levi. Can you get a storm chant?
Storm.
Brianna.
Stewart.
Brianna.
Stewart.
Sue.
Bird.
Sue.
Bird.
Let's go. Okay. See you guys.